Okay, so let's be honest for a second. When you hear the word physics, what pops in your head? Probably a bunch of really complicated formulas on a dusty old blackboard, right? Well, for the next few minutes, I want you to try and forget all of that. Because physics, it is so much more than that. It's this incredible, ongoing human adventure to figure out, well, everything, the very fabric of reality itself. So today, we're going to tackle that simple but absolutely huge question. What is physics really?
Just let that sink in for a moment. The universe is like an endless room with endless treasures and secrets. I mean, what a perfect way to describe it, right? It totally captures what this whole quest is about. Every single time we think we've found an answer, it just opens up a whole new set of doors, with even deeper, more fascinating secrets hiding behind them. And that's the real magic of it all, the true heart of physics, that constant, thrilling sense of discovery.
So, where does a journey like this even begin? Well, it doesn't start in some fancy, high-tech lab with a bunch of expensive equipment. Nope. It starts with something every single one of us has, a simple but incredibly powerful spark of human curiosity. It's that little voice in our heads that looks at the world around us and just has to ask, why?
And you know, this is nothing new. This curiosity, it's as old as we are. It's been sparked by all the amazing and sometimes scary things we see every single day. That one little question, why? It has always been the engine that drives us forward, the thing that pushes us to find out what's really going on.
I mean, just try to imagine it for a second. Our earliest ancestors, feeling the warmth from a fire for the very first time, or seeing a sudden brilliant flash of lightning tear across the sky, followed by that deep, powerful rumble of thunder, or even just noticing the totally reliable cycle of the sun rising and setting, and the moon doing its silent dance across the night sky. These things weren't just stuff that happened. They were mysteries. They were puzzles that just begged for an explanation.
So, after a while, all of this wondering and questioning started to get a little more organized. People realized that if we wanted real answers, we needed a better way, a more systematic way to find them. And that's how we began to build a formal field of study, something dedicated specifically to the knowledge of nature itself.
And that field, of course, is what we now call physics. It's actually a great name for it. It comes from a Greek word that literally means knowledge of nature. And that's perfect, isn't it? Because that's exactly what it is. It's the study of matter, energy, and the incredibly fundamental relationship that ties them together. And wow, is that relationship deep. We eventually figured out that they're basically two sides of the very same coin.
And the sheer scale of this study, it's just staggering. It's mind-blowing, really. When a physicist talks about studying matter and energy, they mean everything. I'm talking from the tiniest, almost unbelievably small subatomic particles, all the way up to planets, stars, entire galaxies, heck, the whole universe. Seriously, nothing is too small and nothing is too large for physics to try and understand. And because it covers that incredible range from the ridiculously small to the cosmically enormous, physics is widely considered to be the most fundamental of all the natural sciences. It's the one that gets right down to the bedrock, asking the biggest, most essential questions we can possibly ask about our physical reality.
Okay, so it's one thing to ask all these huge fundamental questions, but how do you even begin to answer them? You can't just kind of wave your hands and make stuff up. You need a language, a special tool that's powerful and precise enough to actually describe the universe and make sense of it all.
And that language, well, it's mathematics. You really can't have physics without math. The two fields are totally inseparable. You can think of mathematics as the vocabulary and the grammar that allows physics to write the story of the universe with incredible precision and clarity. And listen, this doesn't have to mean a bunch of scary, complicated equations. At its core, this language is built on some really simple, powerful ideas. First, we need numbers, numerical values, to count and measure what we observe. Then, we need units of measurement, things like meters or seconds or kilograms, to give those numbers some real-world context. And when you put all that together with precision and accuracy, that's how you describe the universe with absolute clarity. It's how we move from just vaguely guessing about things to actually knowing.
Now, because the field of physics is just so enormous, you can't possibly have one person who studies everything. That would be impossible. So what happens is, physicists specialize. You can think of all of our knowledge of nature as this giant, unexplored continent. Physics creates the map of that continent, and then all the different branches are like teams of explorers, each heading into a specific territory to see what they can find. And you've got all these incredible branches. For example, you have acoustics, which is all about the world of sound and vibration. Then there's astronomy, which looks up at the stars, planets, and galaxies. You've got optics, which dives deep into the very nature of light itself. Thermodynamics, that's the science of heat and energy, the stuff that powers pretty much everything from a car engine to the sun. Geophysics looks down, studying the very structure of the Earth beneath our feet. And atomic physics zooms way, way in to explore the atoms that make up, well, you and me. Every single one of these branches is like a gateway to another one of the universe's great secrets.
So, at the end of the day, this is physics. It's our collective human effort to map out the known universe while also being courageous enough to probe the dark, unknown edges. It's a journey that started with a simple sense of wonder, and it's still going strong today across all of these amazing specialized fields. So the only real question left is, which part of that map, which of its incredible questions, do you want to help answer?